Hey everybody, my name is Jessica and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little sit down video with you guys and we're going to be talking about things I wish I knew before I started yoga. I often get messages on my Instagram from people saying, oh, I want to start yoga, but I don't really know where to start, or I'm not flexible enough. I don't have leggings. I don't want to go to class. There's so many different reasons or excuses, just things that I've heard for why people don't start yoga or what they're worried about before they start yoga. So number one, you don't need to buy crazy expensive clothes. I know with social media nowadays, it's so hard to get sucked up into all of these fantastic colored leggings that you see, or Lululemon leggings, or just Gymshark. You see so many legging brands and so much just exposure just shoved into your face, and you think, oh, I have a pair of shorts and a baggy sweater. You can do yoga in that. You can do yoga naked. You can do yoga in a bikini. You can do yoga in your bra and underwears. You can do yoga in anything that you want. You don't need crazy specific yoga clothes to be able to try it out. Number two, you don't need any prior experience to take a yoga class. There's a lot online that you can find that you can do from the comfort of your own home if you don't want to go out into the world and show people your weak side, your vulnerability. And then there's a lot of beginners classes. You don't need experience. You don't need to be able to do a back bend or a handstand or a freaking cartwheel to start practicing yoga. You basically just need to be able to breathe. And if you're watching this video, you can breathe. Number three, flexibility. Like, this is probably the number one thing I get. I want to start yoga, but I'm not flexible enough. Okay. Saying that you're not flexible enough for yoga is basically saying that you're too dirty to take a bath. I keep seeing this quote everywhere, and it sticks in my head because it's a good quote. Practicing yoga is going to help you get more flexible. And if that's your goal, then go for it. But yoga is so much more than just practicing your flexibility. Like, that's the number one reason why people usually like to start. They feel stiff and they want to be able to move better. But yoga builds up your flexibility just as much as it builds up your strength physically and mentally and spiritually. Number four is stuff that you just don't need. So when I first started yoga, I was looking at all these different contraptions that I wanted. I wanted these benches that would help you do inversions, and I wanted yoga wheels. And I have purchased myself these things. But when you first start off, you don't need these things to start yoga. You don't need a super expensive mat. You don't need the best blocks on the market. It's really hard now with how the algorithms of social media works, because they're constantly showing you things. So as soon as you start looking up yoga, you're going to start seeing all these things that you can buy for yoga. Which brings me to my number five, things that you actually do need to start participating in yoga. So the first thing you need is a mat. So now you can go two ways on this. You can go and buy yourself a $13 mat if you just want to give it a try and see how it goes, which is what I did. I bought this mat online. I think I paid $16 for it. It's not too thick. It's reversible. I liked it for the color. And it did me great. It did absolutely great. The thing with buying cheaper mats is that once you start getting into harder flows, more you're sweating, if your palms get really sweaty, you end up sliding all over the place. So I actually invested in the Manduka beginner mat. I think I paid $60 for this one. And as my palms get sweaty, it gets more sticky, and I'm not sliding all over the place. So it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're just looking to stretch and not get into a really sweaty thing, then get yourself a cheap mat. If you want to invest and you want yoga to be a part of your daily life and you're going to be doing harder flows, invest in a better mat. You're not going to regret it. You're going to enjoy it. Read your reviews. so you know what mat is best suited for your needs. The second thing you're going to need is 2 blocks, yoga blocks. I'm saying 2 because originally I had just purchased the one. And once I started looking into it, a lot of pose modifications to help you with your stretching or to help you get into different mods if you can't quite reach the floor. They always had 2 blocks. So once again, for this, you don't need the most expensive blocks. I've had these for 2 years. They're pretty beat up. They are damaged. I paid $3 or $4 a piece for them on Amazon. And they've done me well so far. Only really the past 2-3 months I've noticed that I want a bit of a harder block. I find these a little soft. But yeah, 2 blocks. And the final thing that I think that you need when you start practicing yoga is a yoga strap. And to be honest, you can use a scarf, you can use a belt. Like I see people use a lot of different stuff. I picked up this belt for $5 on Gammy when I ordered my first yoga mat. And I use it pretty often. It helps me a lot to get into certain poses, helps me with my stretching, helps me with opening up my shoulders. Yoga strap, yoga blocks, and a yoga mat. Those are the 3 things that you need. We are at number 6. You now know that you don't need crazy clothes. You can throw on a bra and a pair of shorts. You know that you don't need any prior experience. You know that you don't need all of that crazy yoga stuff that you see online. You got your mat, your blocks, and your straps, and you're ready to go. So now, what do? Honestly, turn on YouTube. If you're watching this, you're familiar with YouTube, right? YouTube life is absolutely crazy. There is so many different yoga instructors on YouTube that give you free classes, help explain to you, walk you through the process of each individual pose, helps you with your breathing. The community on YouTube for yoga is massive. You can find yoga for pregnant people. You can find yoga for postpartum depression. You can find yoga for illness, yoga for when you're on your menstruation cycle, yoga for people with bad wrist, yoga for people who are top heavy, yoga for people who are bottom heavy, yoga for people who have a weak neck. Like whatever you type in yoga for, and then you continue on that sentence, it'll pop up and you will find it. Which brings me to the Instagram family. I've talked about this in previous videos, but I just wanted to bring it up again because it's so important. So when you're embarking on a new journey or when you're starting out a new hobby, if you will, in your life, it's nice to have that support around you. And a lot of what I've noticed is not all your friends and family are going to be into your new yogi lifestyle, thankfully. We have Instagram and Facebook. Now, I'm not on Facebook, but I do partake in the Instagram sensation, and the connections and the people that I have met on there through the yoga community is absolutely fantastic. You have questions or worries or like just there's so okay. Bleh. The people that are on Instagram, I mean, no matter what group you go into, there's always going to be a couple assholes here and there. But for the most part, people are extremely welcoming and they are extremely helpful. I have a handful of people that I can message in an instant and ask them any question about yoga, and I'll get a response back. If I have an injury, if I've hurt myself, there's always somebody there to kind of guide me into what to do. And by injury, I'm not saying don't go to the doctors and ask Instagram. I'm just saying people who have probably been through what you're going through, they have life experience, and there's nothing wrong with getting that experience from people. So if you already have an Instagram account, you know, and you're thinking about doing yoga, just start posting your yoga pics on there. I'm telling you, the people from that community are great. Which brings me into the yoga challenges. So I've also spoken about this in other videos before. But if you search up the hashtag yoga challenge, you'll find a bunch of different flyers for different types of challenges, and each day is different poses. And at the end there, they pick winners, and winners get prizes and whatnot. This is extremely motivational for some reason. Like to me, I just loved, like when I first started, like the challenges were like the best thing. It was like every day I had a picture to take to post, and it was encouraging, and it became a ritual. It became something that I would do daily, which helped me form this habit of doing daily practice, and I wouldn't look back. Number 8. Oh my God, confidence. Like this one should have been at the top of the list, but I just thought I should get that other shit out of the way first. So the confidence that you get from doing yoga is crazy. When I say confidence, I'm not talking about people who think that their shit don't stink. I'm talking about genuinely feeling good in your own fucking skin. Like waking up in the morning and knowing that you're a good person and you're going to do great things. And I know that might sound like super basic, but I didn't always feel that way. And I'm sure that a lot of other people don't either. And there's something about yoga while you're practicing it, while you're breathing, while you're focusing on those long inhalations and deep exhalations that changes in your mind. And those little things that used to stress you out or make you go over the top, they just seem to fade away and they don't really matter anymore. That's probably the best thing about yoga, is that the little shit that I used to worry about doesn't seem that bad anymore. I'm able to process things so much better, techniques that they teach you, and just you overall just feel good, which brings up your confidence, which overall just makes you look and feel better. Because when you feel better, you look better. It's all a cycle. It's all connected. Synergy. Now we're approaching the last 2. So we got number 9, which is the emotional aspects on yoga, which I kind of touched on in number 8. So I would say the first time that I realized that yoga was more than just a physical sport was when I probably cried on my mat. I just felt a release after I had done a vinyasa flow, and tears just started rolling down my face. I mean, I don't really know how to explain it other than it'll happen to you if you practice yoga often enough. And it's a healing period. You learn to come to terms with things that have happened, things that you've done, things that have been done to you. You learn to forgive. And yoga has taught me to forgive people and things that I'll never get an apology for. And that's probably the greatest gift that I've received from yoga. 10! We are 10! Personal development. Okay, this is probably the craziest one of all. Yoga has helped me come to terms with myself, who I am, and how I want to present myself to the world. The personal development is absolutely like crazy. The more you develop your body and your mind and your muscles, it's like it all comes together and things just start to like go off in your head. Like your creativity becomes better. Well, for me anyways, my creativity just shot through the roof, and all of a sudden I had all these ideas and all of these dreams that I just had to get out there. And every time I would flow, they would get better and stronger and stronger. And eventually they became urges. Like I needed to get this done. Like this is my calling. And all of this stems from yoga. Like everything that I stand for today has come from me practicing yoga for the past 2 years. Like I would not be here if I had not started practicing yoga here. The journey is crazy. It is never ending. And it just leads into other things. So let's just recap that up real quick, just so you guys can, I went off on a couple tangents there. So we're just going to recap it. So number 1, you don't need to buy crazy expensive clothes to do yoga. 2, you don't need any prior experience, and you don't need to feel intimidated by other yogis who have been practicing longer than you. You don't need to be flexible. You don't need useless shit. You don't need all the latest gadgets. You just need a mat, blocks, and a strap. You can find classes on YouTube, on Instagram, IGTV, Facebook, different websites. You can find it online in your local area. There's so many reasons. There's so many areas to find a class. The Instagram family. Make an account. It'll help you stand accountable, and it'll help you reach out and make some friends and get those connections that, we all like to have. Your confidence gets boosted, your personal development is through the roof, and the emotional aspect is just absolutely fantastic. So now that you know everything I wish I would have known before starting yoga, you can go ahead, go find yourself a class, find yourself a video online, set up a little space, and let's get flexy. Get it done. You won't regret it. So, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know, are you interested in doing yoga? Have you done yoga? Are you a yogi? And if you are a yogi, leave me a heart in the comment section down. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You can find all my social media links down below in the description box. And I will see you guys next time.